It's my pleasure to introduce the next speaker. He's from Sprint Bioscience. And this company develops small molecule drug candidates all the way from idea to preclinical drug project, ready for licensing to the international pharma market. And with us here we have the CEO, Erik Kinnman. So please give him a warm hand.
Thank you very much. My name is Erik Kinnman. I'm the CEO of Sprint Bioscience. I will today talk about what is unique with Sprint Bioscience. So I will focus on our platform, what is unique with that, our business model and why we have such a business model, which is quite different from most other companies, and also finally our portfolio and the parallel multitude of programs that we have in that portfolio, which will also take us to our near-term goal, which is to become a profitable growth company. So this is a summary of the company. We're focused on oncology. And why are we focused on oncology? It's a growing issue in the world as we have become better at treating other diseases, primarily cardiovascular diseases. We live longer. More of us will actually get sick in cancer and die from cancer. So there's a clear medical need for improved treatments, both in terms of lack of efficacy and also the toxicity or safety issues with treatment today. There's also a great demand from the industry for new oncology programs, and thus there is a clear commercial opportunity as well. The good news is that there's a plenty number of new opportunities from a scientific point of view, and Sprint Bioscience has a platform to rapidly develop upon those opportunities new high-quality oncology programs. The track record that we have proves that those programs are of high quality. We have 3 out-licensed programs. The total value of those programs in the agreements is $747 million US dollars, and on top of that also royalties with products on the market. So far we have 158 million Swedish crowns that have helped us develop the company and the portfolio, and we have 3 additional internal programs, 2 of which we have been marketing for a while and are discussing with potential partners, and 1 additional one that we've just about started to market as well. We have within the company a focused and very agile organization and the capacity to add, as we expand the organization, at least 1 program or up to a program and a half in average to that portfolio. So our focus is the early stage. This is also where the industry has its main interest as well. Companies are looking externally, that is larger pharma and biopharma companies, for external innovation, as they have closed down the very early stages of drug development as well. In the all the deals that were made in 2020, a total of $133 billion US dollars, most of those were done in the early stages. And the interesting observation with this graph is that the deal value doesn't increase significantly as the programs progress into a further clinical development. What is quite obvious is, however, that the costs are rising exponentially as the programs move on into clinical development. This graph also gives you a bit of a background. It's quite clear that programs have a good opportunity to move from the preclinical stage into phase 1 healthy volunteer studies, and from healthy volunteer studies into the first patient studies as well. And if you look at precision medicine, which is what we are developing in oncology, there's more than double the probability to reach the market when you talk about immune oncology products, and this is the field that we're focusing on. In addition to that, if you have a biomarker, the likelihood of reaching the market is 3 times higher. This graph depicts our typical agreement model. So we will invest in the early stage, which is quite limited. We will get an upfront as the license as the license takes over the program, and the licensor will then pay us an upfront for that. And as the program moves further into development, the first stage, the later stages of preclinical approval to go into early clinical development, and so on. And then as the program gets approved, there's further milestones, and when we reach also certain sales figures, there will be milestones as well. And with products on the market, there will be significant royalties as well. So far we have 3 programs, as said, that are out-licensed. The deal value of the agreement with Deciphera from last summer is $277 million, out of which we've received $4 million so far. Hybricel, some $5 million out of 240, and for LG Chem, 5.5 out of 230. So I will now move over to talk a bit more about our platform. A starting point in our platform is the target proteins. And as said, there's a high number of new scientifically validated targets. And obviously some of these we get access to and knowledge about through our academic collaborations. The most important one is with the Karolinska Institute. We also search published literature and participate in scientific conferences where news around new, highly innovative and interesting targets are presented as well. And through data mining and bioinformatics, we can get further access to good starting points, as well as through our advisors who are oncologists and scientists within tumor biology, and through a very rich international network also with potential future partners within the pharmaceutical industry. Another important part of the platform is the organization. We have a number of highly qualified experts who work very closely, interactively over different types of expertise in a quite unusual matter looking at the rest of the industry. They also work in a process called a Scrum, which is the same type of process that highly successful gaming companies and IT companies are working. So we have a focused organization with biologists, chemists and protein chemists as well. Another important part is the fragment-based drug development process in itself. So this allows us to build models of the target proteins that we're interested in, and from a proprietary internal fragment library, we can, with sophisticated methods, detect a binding with a small fragment of a molecule, which is the starting point of building a molecule that can become a marketed drug. And this process we can do in a very rapid manner, at least twice or 3 times as fast as the industry average in terms of developing a drug, which allows us to offer the potential partner a first-in-class drug, which means that they have an advantage in the clinical development process and also in the market in pricing issues and so forth. The investment that we make is less than half of the ordinary cost due to the process, and we can also develop a multitude of different molecules with good opportunities to build strong patents around these as well. This is not unique to us. The way we do it is unique. There are 6 approved drugs, FDA-approved drugs that have used this type of technique, and there are some 30 in clinical development. So this is the platform more in a complicated figure. So the starting point is obviously that there is a medical need. We do data mining, so there's a large body of open source information in databases, and we can, through quite complicated algorithms, find interesting starting points for target proteins. And through the rest of the network, we then determine what fits our platform. We do testing from our fragment library, and when we do get a hit, we continue that into an iterative process where we test and retest so that we do get molecules that both have a high affinity to the target protein, a high number of selectivity as well, and we also want to show that it has the effect that we expect it to have, the positive effects and not unwanted effects, and it also has the qualities once in the body that we are looking for as well. So after a process which is a year and a half, we end up with a program that has a combination of a high level of new biology understanding around the mechanism of action. We have a diverse set of molecules that are starting points for building a drug. And in most cases, we also have a biomarker, which is important. So this creates a high quality program, which is of great interest for many partners as a first-in-class opportunity around a new target. So these are this is the portfolio. So we have VPS 34, which is in the late preclinical stage, approaching the next milestone, which is CD selection, and then IND. We have Petra 01, which is together with Hybricel moving towards late stage preclinical development. The next milestone will be phase 1. And then we have the NASH program, which is in an earlier preclinical stage where we need new experimental data prior to choosing molecules and moving into the later stage of preclinical development. VADA and DISA are marketed to potential partners, and we are just starting to market the NEMA program as well. So very quickly about our internal programs. The VADA program is a program where when we block the target protein, we will stop the cancer cell's ability to repair faulty DNA. The immune system will react and the tumor cells cannot continue to grow. This is of interest for a number of different indications and in combination treatments as well. And the next internal milestone is to do an experimental study this year, and obviously to go to a partnership within the next year. For the DISA program, we are speaking with a number of partners with this one as well. A proof of concept experimental study is planned for next year. We have interesting molecules in this one as well. And this is about recognizing, or the immune system recognizing DNA, which is not supposed to be in the cells. Tumor cells can actually utilize this mechanism to disguise itself, once you block this mechanism, the tumor cells are recognized by the immune system and you get an immune reaction. The third program is the NEMA program. We just revealed the target, NNMT, which is a program, which is a mechanism involved in the tumor micromilieu, and they can adjust the micromilieu so that they can grow and survive, and also escape the immune system. Blocking this will stop the tumor growth and initiate an immune reaction here as well. And we will, at the Bio meeting in the US in June, start actually meeting with potential partners around this program as well. The VPS-34 program turns cold tumors into hot tumors, starts an inflammatory reaction so that tumors are invaded by immune cells, and thereby you get an immune reaction fighting the tumor and the cancer. This holds a great opportunity in that checkpoint inhibitors, which are very effective when they are effective, cannot fight cold tumors. Turning them into hot tumors will actually, in combination, expand the market opportunity for checkpoint inhibitors, which is already a very large indication. The Petra-01 program utilizes a defense mechanism for stress reactions in cells. Turning that off will stop tumor growth and survival as well. And then we have the NASH program, where in fatty liver disease, the mechanisms involved in fatty uptake, inflammation, and fibrosis development. And this is now planned for the next step in the preclinical development. So in summary, I've talked today about our platform, a unique platform to very rapidly develop high-quality new oncology programs that are sought after by the industry as a whole. We do have a track record in the out-license programs. We have 3 additional programs that we are now marketing, and we have the capacity to add to that one, and in our expanded organization, 1.5 in average to that portfolio. And this gives us multiple shots on goal, revenue streams that will take us to the overall goal to become a profitable growth company. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Erik. Since you were here the last time, what would you say is the biggest achievement for your company?
Yes, well, last time we still had a need for financing. We did, I think, a couple of quite successful financing rounds last year. And what was also very important, and which is one of the sort of track record elements that I talked about, is that we out-licensed our VPS-34 program to Deciphera in August last year. So I think it was a successful year, and we made some significant progress. And we have, starting this year, a much better financial position than we've had in the past.
In your field, I often hear that there is a lack of, it's difficult to find talent, to find people to work with due to the system of education, specifically here in Sweden. How are you maneuvering in this territory in terms of finding talent to work with?
I think that due to our way of doing things, the process in the company, and very importantly, the culture in the company as well, we are very attractive to the rest of the industry and academia, where we hire new people. And for the recent positions that we've had new needs, we've had a high number of very, very talented and experienced experts. So far we have no problem at all to actually fill the positions.
Even in the more junior positions?
Both in the junior, I think, as always, to find those who have the combination of a high level of scientific background and industry background are those who are most difficult to find. But in terms of the junior position, there's a multitude of people actually attracted to working with us, which we are very grateful for.
Well, excellent. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us here today, Erik Kinnman.
Thank you.
Thank you.